Hello everybody, this is a very much non-polished video to share with you because a week ago on Monday I went to a hormone class and gut health class led by an aromatherapist and a doctor, and I know some of you couldn't make it, plus it would be great to have this for my own safekeeping as well, and so I just have been going back through my notes and I've got a whole bunch written down and it makes sense to me, which is helpful, but then if I share it with you, then it will make it more helpful for me because I'll understand it even more and hopefully you'll understand it. And for those of you who couldn't make it, you can learn a bit that what we learned. And for those of you who did make it, then this will hopefully be another refresher of what we learned. So this particular video is just about the hormone health. I'll do hopefully a separate one on the gut health when I managed to figure that all out. It was a lot more intense for my brain, but the hormone stuff, let me share with you what I learnt so that you can learn as well, so that together we can have a much healthier lifestyle. So she started by, her name was Kim Thompson, by the way, an aromatherapist out of Perth, I believe. Kim Thompson, she's on Facebook and things, you can go and find her. So she talked quite a bit about progesterone. So progesterone is a naturally occurring hormone in the body, which our body produces, which is really crucial, especially for women if you're wanting to fall pregnant. It's a really crucial hormone. It helps the egg to stay in the uterus, and it also helps it to come out of the uterus at the correct time. But obviously we know by looking at the world around us that there are a lot of women who struggle to fall pregnant, and there's many, many reasons for this, but it can be linked to progesterone. A key factor in this is to do with contraception pills, the Mirena and things like that. So when you are put onto a contraceptive pill, it is blocking your progesterone, and so your body will completely stop producing progesterone over time. And so when you come off that contraceptive pill or take out the Mirena, then your body has literally no progesterone, and that's the time when you're like, right, I'm ready to make a baby. You cannot make a baby if you do not have any progesterone in your body, and so the contraceptive pills have done a fantastic job stopping you falling pregnant. However, they've also stopped your body from producing any progesterone, and so you're going to be unable to fall pregnant. It takes many years to flush all that synthetic out of your body. It also takes a long time for your body to start producing progesterone and then producing it at the right level to be able to have children. So it's super scary because often as young teenagers who have a lot of acne, the first thing a doctor might do is to put them on the contraceptive pill. Obviously, I'm jumping to conclusions here. Not every doctor is going to do that, but we have heard the stories of that happening. And if somebody is on the contraceptive pill from the age of, say, 11, 12, 13, or through their teenage life to help their skin, they don't realize that the flow-on effect of that is nulling all that progesterone in their level, and so the chance of them falling pregnant later in life is really, really slim, which is super sad. So pregnant woman, you would say, oh, you're glowing, oh my goodness, you're glowing, blah, 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 blah. The reason pregnant women glow is because they've got elevated progesterone levels inside their body. So it's a really nice hormone to have for us, and to help if you've been struggling to fall pregnant, if your mood is quite low, progesterone helps with regular moods and things like that, helps your skin glow, it helps your it can help with sleep and things like that. Progesterone is a really important hormone. So an oil to help with progesterone and boosting your progesterone is one which I don't have it with me. It's called Progescence Phyto Plus, and it's actually made out of wild yams, which have a naturally occurring progesterone in them. And so it's actually a serum, not an oil, but I'll keep calling it an oil because I'm used to doing that. To use it, you simply drop about 4 drops on your inner arm and rub your arms together. You can do it in the morning, you could do it at night. A lot of women like to do it at night because for some women it makes them feel a little bit sleepy, so that's a good thing. So Progescence Phyto Plus is the serum that helps lift your progesterone levels. Basically anybody who has started puberty and onwards can be using Progescence Phyto Plus. I use it personally every single day because there's a massive link between cortisol, progesterone, estrogen, and all of that cycling around inside your body, and we want to have good progescence progesterone levels inside of our body to help our stress levels and to help our adrenals, like our energy and things like that. So, but if you're wanting to fall pregnant, then taking Progestin or using Progestins Phyto Plus is a really good thing to be using. Now, another major hormone imbalance in women is to do with estrogen, either low estrogen or excess estrogen. Too much estrogen in the body is actually a really common thing. Estrogen is, again, naturally made. There's different types of estrogen. There's estrogen 1, which is the primary source of estrogen when you are going through menopause or after menopause. Estrogen 2 is the primary form of estrogen when you're in the reproductive years, and it's the most potent estrogen. And estrogen 3 is the primary form of estrogen during pregnancy. So all estrogen those 3 estrogens are good and needed in the body. However, our body often has an excess of estrogen, and you think, why is that? And it's actually a xenoestrogen, which means a fake estrogen, and it looks exactly the same, and your body thinks it's exactly the same as an estrogen, so it will stop producing some of the estrogen that you need, or it will keep producing the estrogen that you need, and you're dumping in more and more estrogen into the body. And an excess of estrogen means it grows outside of the cells, and here we have the problems of polyps, endometriosis, fibroids, ovarian cancer, and polycystic ovary syndrome. Those are very, very common disorders that we hear from women these days. Endometriosis, polyps, fibroids, ovarian tumors, and polycystic ovary syndrome, which is called PCOS. Very common, and it's from an excess of estrogen, and the body has too much estrogen, and it's growing and causing issues throughout the body. So our natural estrogen basically has like a key to the door, and the cells let it in, right? So that it's like they unlock the doors to the cells. But the fake estrogen, the xenoestrogen, also have the same shape key, the same molecular structure, and so our cells will also let them in, and you're getting all this estrogen, and the cells are filled up, and then they go outside the cells, and then you start getting all those issues. And they're feeding our cells at such a high rate. And do you know what they're doing when they're feeding our cells at a high rate? Making us fatter. Hence why often women have a issue with weight gain, because we've got all of our own natural estrogen, and then we're filling it with xenoestrogen, and we're causing all of those crazy hormonal issues, but we're also getting fatter. So xenoestrogens, where do they come from? Basically all around us, which is a bit of a scary thing, but it's something to be aware of. So xenoestrogens come in our like skincare, like synthetically made skincare, our hair care, our body care, deodorants and shampoos and makeups and things like that. Things like parabens, if you look at the ingredient list on the product, if it's got paraben, paraffin, phthalates, all of those sorts of things. Fake estrogen, xenoestrogen, are piling in through all of those things. And xenoestrogen also affect men. It's feeding their prostates, which is not great. A lot of xenoestrogen is coming from plastic in the world, from a plastic water bottle. So instead of using a plastic water bottle, go and get yourself a stainless steel water bottle or a glass water bottle. All this plastic, which I know you start entering this crazy world of, oh my goodness, we're not safe from anything. And the reality is we're not safe from anything. The plastic is everywhere in our world, but you can cut it down. For example, if you put things in the microwave, don't heat it in plastic, because when you heat plastic, it makes it bad, like extra bad. The little microplastics go into the food and then into us. And just be really conscious of using more glass. We are trying to cut down our estrogen levels so that we're at normal, not excess. And so they are hiding in all of our hair and care products and everything like that that's synthetically made, and then all of our plastics. So moving on, if your body is making cortisol, now cortisol is our stress hormone, our fight or flight. We're like, oh my goodness, like I need to go do that, or whatever it is that we have, like I forgot to pick up the kids type of thing. Then suddenly our body goes, oh, fight or flight, and it produces this cortisol, this reaction to the stress. And while it's making cortisol, it cannot make progesterone. And then we start linking back to issues with our progesterone. And when we're stressed, our metabolism slows right down, and our digestion slows right down, and our reproduction slows right down. And so hence why, can you start seeing how everything is linked so much together? The world that we live in today is much higher paced, fast paced, busy, active. And we might not call ourselves stressed. However, we are living a much more stressed lifestyle than our grandparents and our great-grandparents did. And our bodies are still the same bodies, but they don't cope that well. Even if we're telling ourselves that we're fine, we're fine, we're fine, our body is going, I'm not fine, and I'm slowing down and I'm storing all this energy and I'm not going to let you metabolize it, because what if a drought is about to come? You know, the body's reaction. So it starts to store everything up. So if we're not using up our cortisol, it goes into our liver, and then our liver stores our cortisol, and then we get fatter again. So we're getting fatter through stress, and we're getting fatter through too much estrogen. So some other oils to help with that process is an oil called Stress Away. Stress Away helps put the cortisol levels back to normal, reduces our stress levels, helps our nervous system to calm down. So Stress Away is a really good oil. And nutmeg, the oil nutmeg and the oil NRG, which makes it sound like energy, because that's what it does. NRG is the oil. Those are really good for your adrenal glands, which is your energy glands, and that's going to help with the whole progesterone cortisol thing. And if you just put a few drops onto your hand, rub it together, and then rub it on your adrenals, which are in your lower back, rub those on daily, and that's going to help you with your energy and things like that as well. But she finished by saying 10 things to support your hormones. So let me run through the 10 things to support your hormones. Number 1 is to ditch and switch. So what she's focusing on there is ditching all of your synthetic products, your supermarkets, shampoos, deodorants, makeup, and things like that. Anything that has parabens, phthalates, parfum, all of those like chemicals in them are completely screwing up your hormones and pumping xenoestrogen inside of you and stuffing up your hormonal system. So she's saying ditch those and switch them to good quality organic, good quality clean. Hence the Young Living range is all completely clean and good for you and not going to harm you. So number 1, ditch and switch. Number 2 was basically the same as number 1, so I wasn't going to write it down, but I will anyway, is to use low tox, hence what we just said, switch to good low tox products. Number 3, have a healthy diet with good fats. We need cholesterol in the body because it's the basic building block of all hormones. So that's things like seeds and nuts and olive oil and fish and avocado and things like that. So get a really good diet and get some really good fats into you. Switch to glass drink bottles or glass servingware or glass storage in your pantry, or stainless steel or ceramic. Try and start culling out. Next time you go to buy something, choose the glass option, not the plastic option. Use oils, our essential oils, instead of using perfumes and fragrances and room smellers and plug-ins in the wall. Stop using all of those because they're full of synthetics and the xenoestrogens that are mucking our system up, and start using oils. Put oils on as perfumes, put oils into a spray bottle as your room spray, put your diffuser on. So start using oils instead of perfumes. Get 8 hours sleep at nighttime because your liver needs to reset. Otherwise you're just drowning your liver and it can't cope. Get 8 hours sleep. Exercise. She also said that if you're heading in towards menopause, your testosterone is dropping, and to do some weight-bearing exercises, which was really interesting. She said there's a lot of science about it. It can reduce the osteoporosis type symptoms and things like that if you're doing weight-bearing exercises. So that was interesting. Increase your vitamin B and your vitamin C intake. Again, Young Living have really great supplements with vitamin B and vitamin C, and it will help maintain your progesterone levels. Drink Ningxia Red. That was a standalone one, and that's because that is full of amino acids, minerals, vitamins, nutrients, all the bits and bobs that we need for our body. It's just one goodness. And then use Progestance Plus, the serum. Use it in your nighttime routine, on your arm, on your skin. It gets straight into your body. If you have a teenager who has puberty issues, menstrual pains and things like that, and they can just use 1 drop a day. Another oil to use for menstrual cramps and pain, and if you have excess sweating for menopause, is to use clary sage oil. Rub it on your lower belly. That's menstrual cramps and pains, bits and bobs. Yeah, rub it on your lower belly. And there's another one called Dragon Time, which is really good for menstrual pain, the time of the month, dragon time is really, really good. Emotionally, it can calm the dragon. It's called dragon time. It calms the dragon, but also helps with any pain. Sclerescence is good for perimenopause and menopause, and Lady Sclariol has clary sage in it as well, so that's a really good one. Yeah, and a lot of people will use that one as a perfume. It smells really beautiful. So you can use Dragon Time if you're older and if you're younger. You can use Progesterone Phyto Plus if you're older and younger, but it just must be for a post-menstrual cycle teenager, not a pre. Yeah, those are my notes. I'm not sure if it makes sense. I hope it makes sense. My key takeaways is flip, the body is super integrated, let's support it. So I just have my Progesterone Phyto Plus sitting on my nightstand, and so when I go to bed at night I just drop it on my arm and go like this, and nutmeg in the morning, and I rub it on my lower back in the morning, and it's really interesting to learn more about the estrogen levels. I've learned a little bit about estrogen, but it made a lot more sense, the different types of estrogen and that fake estrogen, that xenoestrogen that we're so full of, how it's the same shape as our natural estrogen, and so the body listens to it like it would a normal estrogen, even though it's fake. It's a deceiver. It's coming in and it's taking over. So cutting it down. So yeah, titch and switch being really important, getting rid of all the fake and pulling in all the good stuff. So I'll leave it at that for you. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to help you. If you want to know again what those oils were, then just reach out to me and I can help you with that. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day.